HaWah, 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 HaWah. Yeah, let's go, cuz. We back in it. We back in it to win it. Let's go. I'm jumping right into chapter 1, man. Halal HaWah. No play, man. We're going to pick up where we left off, get that last drop. And I'm just going to keep coming to y'all with books, man. I got a hefty book library. And I said, man, let me just get back to reading to my Nagas. We do a lot of stuff, you know what I'm saying, from behind the screen. It's easy to get kind of, lost and just, you know, working off the devices, right? I just want to just get back to these devices, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, we're gonna get back to Preston John, Cities of Gold, you know what I mean? It's so much, man. We got being out here in Utah. I definitely want to pop off that series, Mormons Digging Deeper, because I've been digging deeper. Shout out to UB News, has some good drop on the Mormon drop. Get that drop. Shout out to UB News, man. Let's go. Including Mayo, man. Even, you know what I'm saying, in my hiatus, I see y'all working, man. I see all y'all popping off. Y'all dropping y'all music. Y'all dropping books. Ty Battle wrote her book, you know what I'm saying? I think that's just amazing. So we put a link in our community page, but I'll make sure I also link this to this video too. So you got the link to Aqua Ty Battle's book, man. Ty Battle wrote a book, man. So y'all popping off books. I got Nagas performing, doing concerts. Shout out to Zion Marley, man. He's everywhere performing, man. We try to get him out here in Utah, man. Ran into Ziggy Marley, like I said, man. It was crazy because him and his people, Pablo, the guitarist, said they've been doing they stuff in 432. Now I'm just seeing more and more Nagas popping off on the 432 flow. Man, I'm just I'm a proud con right now, you know what I'm saying? Seeing, the whole indigenous truth really coming to light. And just knowing that, you know what I mean, just settling in on the information. Before, like, off the balcony, we just popping off like, man, can you believe this? Can you believe that? Now we kind of settling into it. We kind of wearing our shoes, wearing our garments. And it is what it is, man. You rock with us, you don't. You know what I'm saying? You rock with you and your peoples, rock with you and your peoples, man. I never said you got to kick it with me. I never said I got to be cool, cool enough for y'all. Sometimes you just too cool for school. Sometimes you got to get in the back of the class or get your own classroom and pop off. It's all good as long as we've inspired you a little bit, man. As long as you got a little bit of that DNA in your man, you know what I'm saying, that 432 DNA, waking up a lot of our junk DNA, so-called junk, which is just cords and cables, man. Look up the 1828 definition of junk and get back to me, man. Cords and cables is crazy. I've been on the radio all day, out here in Utah at SUU, Southern Utah University. I got a radio show I've been popping off twice a strong. They say week, we say strong. Twice as strong. Sundays and Tuesdays out here, and it's just been amazing. Great feedback. We've been playing nonstop 432 music for 2-3 hours straight. Tribe up music, you know what I'm saying? Some of the tribe been tuning in. I appreciate y'all. Y'all let me know y'all tuning in from different spots. I dropped the app. I'll drop it again for y'all because it's an app just for the SUU, Southern Utah University, you know what I'm saying, campus and all that, and their radio, you know what I mean? But my program is called Cedar Soul, man, and it's a beautiful thing, man, to be broadcasting from the high desert. And, just to come out here and quickly get on the radio down on 91.1, you know what I mean? And just, I don't do too much talking and teaching. I just let the music teach. I let the vibration be the professor, man, you know what I'm saying? But we will be launching our 432 to drop radio back live on our app right from our website. Then I'm popping off and going crazy. Over there, I gotta be neutral because they got their little, you know what I'm saying, what's it called? Administrative, FCC, everything, you can't talk, you can't even talk Donald Trump. You can't even talk about, like, oh no. I tried one time, they were like, look, man, we agree with you, but I said, all right, I get it. I'm on your stuff. I get it. I got my own stuff, man. We out of here. All right, man. I'm gonna read with a dragonfly perspective. We've been doing this for 10 years. I'm not gonna slow down too much. I'm just gonna pop off, man. So, Halal HaWah. Let's go. This ancient globe, tens of millions of years old. Know this book. How you gonna start? How you gonna start like this, man? Pause it. Read it. I'm taking my time, man. We ain't in a rush. We've been doing this, like I said, over 10 years. Hey, man, you came here for the interruptions. You don't want no interruptions? Buy the book, man. I'm over here supporting Gene D. Matlock from Khyber Pass to Gran, Quivira, New Mexico, and Babaquivari, Arizona, man. I'm in Utah. The old maps, have Utah is all the territory of Arizona, New Mexico. There is no New Mexico. There is no Arizona. It's all Judah, man. So we're all just talking about Judah. All right, so they're on the globe, tens of millions, cajillions of years old. But let's go. All right. So this Earth, it's just a small ball. I can't read. I'm trying, man. Y'all see it, man. Small ball whirling around in space. All right, let's go. All living beings and inanimate objects on this planet are fastened to its surface by a phenomenon called gravity. Man, these aren't my words, man. These aren't my words. These aren't my words, man. Okay? I'm sure we're just here to get the babies out the bathwater. I'm not gonna keep him. He's gonna say a lot of crazy stuff. So they think that this is some new land and that India once ruled the world, right? But this is India. So we're reading it from that perspective that we're in the old world, not the new world. This is India and we're not spinning on no dang ball. All right, so for all this millenniums, people have been migrating from one place to another on this sphere. But yeah, back to the migration, that's how they're gonna try to get us. Like, oh, people from India migrated over here and then started all this Hindu yada yada over here. You know what I'm saying? These artifacts belong to people who came here. So there are no indigenous people here. It's just a melting pot. That's kind of what they set up. Same as David Lowe, like I said last time, for Forbidden Histories of America. It's just these Roman colonies coming in, not the Romani indigenous Nagas, but just some Roman white folk, basically, or some Indian, with just, straight hair, you know what I'm saying? No Nagas is nowhere. Like, we don't have no homeland. We just got to go back to Africa, right? So that's how they try to pitch it. But then they're going to talk Olmec, right? So, whoa. Yet, when some ancient peoples moved from one place to another, for instance, the so-called sudden appearance of the Olmec on Mexico's west central coast, our modern historians and archaeologists call their appearance and origins mysterious. What else is mysterious? The alchemical dragon, right? The mysterious substance of unknown origin is what they call it in alchemy. So anything to do with the dragon is mysterious. With HaWah, the creator, is mysterious. The Olmecs are mysterious. You know what else is mysterious? The mysterious cities of gold. We're going to get back in that cartoon, man, because there's so many mysteries, right? Prester John's a mystery. The Olmecs are mysterious. But how could this be so? How could one hide out or disappear on this tiny ball? Only now has man developed the technology and the courage to leave it. So now they're leaving Earth. Get out of here, man. If a people leave point A, ended up in point B, we should be able to at least follow their linguistic and cultural trail on this tiny piece of rock and dirt. Of course, I agree that languages and cultures change with times. It may be true that a people we're investigating ended up at point B, speaking a language entirely different from where they started. However, scientists are agreeing that some languages may need up to 10,000 years to change drastically. It's a lot of connection between the languages of the New Hawatu, the Key HaWah, all these indigenous tribes in Mexico, America, all this India Superior, and even Graham Hancock. Look at the Graham Hancock work, connects a lot of the Hebrew with that. And he's also connecting the Hebrew with this Hindu and India flow. He's just trying to act like it started with the Hindu or India, and then became Hebrew, that type of thing, instead of the other way around. Because then they gotta just tell the truth that the ancient indigenous peoples are the same class and tribes of people as these Olmecs, as these Hebrews, as Judah and the 12 tribes of Israel, just like many scholars have been pointing out in the 1700s, 1800s. We've been reading these books connecting the Native American tribes with the lost tribes of Israel, right? So we're the ones that have emptied our cup. So it kind of put us ahead of their scholarship because they're too afraid to empty their cup. They need to defend their scholarship, defend their scholarship. Once they write a book about it, they got to defend their book. We started talking about Horace Butler's book, Rocks Cry Out. With our indigenous dragonfly perspective, he kept trying to bring us to Africa over there, or Egypt got to be over there. And we're like, bro, they just said they crossed the waters. The waters don't have to be the Atlantic Ocean, but you needed to be the Atlantic Ocean to fit the narrative of us coming on some slave boats or coming from Africa, basically. But that's why we got Thai Battle, man. Look up that Thai Battle drop. Click the links below. Get in the classroom, Aqua Thai Badzan, man, because we need us to write our stories straight up. And look out for my first Prester John book, man. You're going to love it. It's going to have all, the classroom studies that we've done, over 10 years, right? So we're going to put that in book form. Then we're going to do like a children's book form so the droplets can get the droplets. We don't got to hit them over the head too much with too much at one time. Just make it fun for them so that they can not get alternative history, but get our story. Let's go. All right, so it gets better. So in the 20th century, a person knowledgeable of the language of the Supai Indians of Arizona visited Copper Canyon in Halal HaWah. Right, see how they spell it? Pause it, read it. Halal, so if it's H-U-A, H-A-W-A, H-A-W-A-H, it's Hawa. You know what I'm saying? It's H-U-E, H-U-I, all these are Hui, Hawa, or O-A or U-A. These are the indigenous ways of just the phonetics of Wah, Hawa. Get a little more. I'm just going to give like a couple pages a day. I'm really going to try to drop daily, just like this or wherever I can, and just get cozy with my Nagas again. I got a lot of new wave surfers. I want to get cozy with you too. And just know I'm here, man, as I get settled in Utah, building this land out here, man. And you know what I mean? Everything won't be televised, but just know that it's moving pieces and moving parts, especially when you got a whole family, tribe, children, like everyone got to get cozy, man. And sometimes it feels like you're taking a step back to take a step forward. But just by being here, I know that we've taken a leap forward, right? We're no longer paying rent out in California. Now we settling on our land. Now we setting up shop. You know what I mean? Now we putting things together. So, whatever it takes, man, to make that dragon leap, you know what I'm saying? And get to where you gotta go. And A-hop to y'all for your, just consistent energy just to keep us going as well. All right, so a person knowledgeable of the language of the Supai Indians of Arizona visited Copper Canyon in Chihuahua, Mexico. While there, she met a tribe called Papai, P-A-I, who spoke the same language and dialect as the Supais or Supi. Yet the two groups had broken away from each other 1,000 years previous. Like, how do they know? All these years is crazy. Thanks to that woman's discovery, the tribes came together again and even arrange occasional reunions. Most historical linguistics failed to consider another fact about languages: names of gods, spiritual words, sexual expressions, ruling castes, astronomical terms, and place names tend to be as durable as the Rock of Gibraltar. Ancient race, place, and river names are found to be among the most imperishable of human things. This persistence of ancient place names has been fully recognized by the leading archaeologists as a safe means of recovering ancient history. And that's from Phoenician origins of Britons, Scots, and Anglo-Saxons. So don't let us start talking Britons and all that, man. We've seen the Andrews family crest when it comes to the Scots in Scotland. We know Princess Scotia and all the connection with the Hebrew pharaohs and lineages. So All this is Hebrew flow. Like when they say India once ruled the world, what they're saying is India superior, man, is the the nucleus, man, of King David, of the throne of the Davidic Khan. That's why you see David mentioning across all, you know what I'm saying, scholarship of all these particular groups, whether we're talking about Ethiopian Chronicles, you got the Lebna Dangle Dawit, David plays, Dawit, Dawit plays in the Ethiopian Chronicles, or the Mongolian history, you got Genghis Khan taking the Khan and calling himself David in 1221 or something like that. So David plays in the Mongolian flow, David plays in the European flow, the Georgian flow, the biblical flow, like I said, the Ethiopian flow. Everyone got their David. Even the Hindu flow has their version of David. So they also got their Judah or Yahudas or Yudas. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna get some of that drop. A few more minutes, man. I told you. I got you. So Westerners and even many Indians have difficulty understanding that ancient India, America, once controlled the entire world. Additionally, they can't understand that in earliest times, the Indians did not view ethnicity in terms of race, language, and geographic location, but in each individual's role and position in the spiritual, social, and economic pecking order. So really, it was tribal. It was tribal. And India just means what? In Dios, in Spanish, Dios, God, in God. You know what I mean? It's a vague term, you know what I'm saying, like it says in Forbidden Histories of America or Lost Tribes and Promised Lands, you know what I'm saying, by Rudolph Sanders. So India is a vague term, man, just for dark people, so-called dark people, copper-colored people, melanated people, wherever you are. Just like Ethiopia is a vague term, just means burnt face, fiery looking in etymology. It's a Greek word, epdios. So what were you called before the Greeks called you burnt face? What were you called before the Greeks called you fiery looking? The word that predates Ethiopia is Abyssinia, and even before that is Habasa. In Abyssinia, you've seen the, picture or portrait of paint Prester John, and it says Emperado de los Abyssinios, which means mixed multitude, not races, but tribes. Like Moses had a mixed multitude, out of Egypt going to the promised land, mixed multitude, rock with Joshua, a mixed multitude from the Medes and different other tribes, whoever's keeping the code, right? So, you know what I mean? That's the Abyssinia, which became Ethiopia. And again, it's not about, what they say ethnicity, but we're just talking tribes. If all aspects of the ancient India caste system were practiced here in modern Southern California, the computer experts in Silicon Valley and the farmers in Central California will regard each other as entirely different nationalities, just as we today see the Japanese, Irish, Mexicans, American, Scots, and other nationalities. Furthermore, a country could have more than one name according to the number of roles performed in society by the majority of the members of the dominant caste in each region. The tip-top caste in ancient India was the priestly class called the Brahmins. They were so holy and sacred that even their servants had to be a Brahmin subcaste of Sarasvati or Sarasvati. Sarasvati or Sarasvati. Here we go with this Hebrew flow, right? So Abraham's wife is named Sarah, right? Just pause it, right? Here you go. I got y'all. You can pause it and read it, come back to it. I'll even give you some of the next drop. So you ahead of me now. You're like, God, turn the page. Oh, y'all see something, man? Last couple minutes, we'll get there too, man. Cause I see what y'all see. But this Sarasvati or Wata, right? What they say SVATI is like SW. It's no V's. They turned our WAs or WA or WAH or WAW or WA, which means security in the Hebrew foundation, to V's, to Vavs in the modern Yiddish. That's how I know they're going off. That's how I know they're trying to reverse engineer, but they're reverse engineering to the wrong place, to the so-called modern Hebrew. So this Wati is easily Wata, Sarah Wata, right? Sarai Wata. The servants of Sarah Zavati or Wata, it's Wata, were the Brahmin subcaste of Hakra and Hagar, right? We just talked about Abraham, didn't he? Who's Hagar? Y'all leave a comment. Y'all let me know who Hagar is. Take the G off, man. One letter rule, Horace Butler told us, right? That's what we got for Horace Butler, the one letter rule. They put one letter, change it up. They put a G in front of the H, or they put a K in front of the H, or a C in front of the H. Now you're talking China, when before it was a K, like Kana. Kana, Hakra, or Hagar. Same thing. So you got the Sarah, and then the servants of the Sarah were the Hagars. Wasn't Hagar a servant of the house, like a concubine or something like that? After devastating floods and earthquakes nearly destroyed northern India in 1900 BC, they fled to the Middle East. Today, we remember them as Abraham and Sarah. I didn't even read that part. This just lets you know that we on point. This just lets you know we on point, because I did not read down that far. I've been belly flopping in this book for years, but I ain't read it cover to cover. And look how much I missed, man. Look how much we missed. So yeah, the Hagar, right? The Hagar is the Hagar, man. And the Sarah and the Sarah and Abraham. The Hagar became Hagar, right? Bang. Ping, pow, for the dismount. I got y'all. Told y'all, man, I'm trying to do 15 minutes. I always end up doing 20. So their stories that northern India fled to Middle East. Why you gotta go to Middle East? Because they think that's where Jerusalem, Palestine, all that stuff is. But if this author understood that this is Jerusalem, that this is Judah, that this is India Superior, then you don't have to make all these assumptions about migrating northern castes and something BC to the Middle East so that they can connect with Jews and Judah. You understand that they're already right here in America, which is why your whole book is about New Mexico, Arizona, Judah, the Four Corners. The Grand Canyon is the Grand Canyon, Conjon, the conjunction, man. Let's go. So the Hagar became Hagar, Sarah's handmaid and mistress of Abraham. So Hagar had to serve the house. And this is why this Sarah, now this is big, man. Because this is drop. So if this is how they rocking with the Brahmin, and is that correlated, instead of reverse engineering it from so-called India over there to the Hebrew here, we got it from the Hebrew and indigenous American Hebrew, the indigenous Hebrews, right? And they're pretty much copy and pasting and stealing our style and stealing our history and rewriting their whole history based on indigenous America, India Superior. China, with all their Hans and Khans and Wans, is based on indigenous Hebrews in America. The old world right here. This is the original Cathay. This is the original China. This is the original Zapangu. This is the original Japan. Managa is the original Egypt. This is the original Ethiopia. Because we're talking about the original fiery looking so-called burnt face, but the Nagas with that deadly glance that got that dragonfly. And the dragon means to what? To see clearly. Do you see clearly? Do you see clearly? Quivira is Eber, is Heber. Don't we got an ancestor named Eber in the Eberu? So according to the Muslims, Hagar was an Egyptian princess. Notice that all these subcastes were themselves aristocrats, divinely authorized, divinely authorized to surround and protect the Brahmins and the Sarvatas, or Wata. This is why these similar names have survived in various parts of the world. Two other subcastes somehow linked to Hagar, who were those of Isaac, Isaacu, the favorite of God Shiva, and Ishmael is Ishmahal, God Shiva is great. By the way, in India, the Sarvati was a river, and the Hagar, or Gagar, was its tributary. So they even got the Isaac flow in the Brahmin situation, or the Hindu But they just ain't connecting that the India is the Hindu and it's right here and it's right here with me and you. And they recast and classified us now as colored and African American. When they just found us here, they don't know nothing about us here. You came over here, you just celebrated the birthday of America, 250 years. So what was America called before 250 years ago? I'll wait. If that's the birthday of America, what was America called before 250 years? And why is there no North America on the maps in the 1600s? It just says India superior. And why would it say superior unless superior Nagas were already here and superior in Hawah's eyes? Because you're supposed to be the head and not the tail. We're talking about Deuteronomy, man. 28, you're supposed to be the head and not the tail. All you gotta do is keep the code. And you get the blessings, you get the Baruch. You're out of code, you get everything you see around us, right? So now we're getting back in code. Because of the nature of some peoples or tribes, spiritual, economic, and social roles in the human family, certain Brahmin castes also function as priests, khans, right? Leaders and protectors simultaneously. These were the North Indian Kaul Diva. You remember the diva? The diva is the Dawi. Remember the V's they got from the W's in the Hebrew. So the divas or the diwa or dawa or dawid. You had female dawas like Dawidas, female David titles and male David titles. It's not just one person named David. This is a title like Prester. This is Dawuda, beloved. Beloved, man. Let's go for the dismount. Today we remember them as Celts, right, or Celts. See how they changed the C's and K's. But now you're back to the Irish flow. And what did Benjamin Franklin say in the Observations of Mankind, 1751? That all these Irish, Scottish, all of them are swarthy, man. Copper-colored people in Ireland, copper-colored people in Britain, copper-colored people, holy copper color, he said, in America, man. Let's go, man. The companions of the Phoenicians in commerce and war were the priest warriors Yahudia or Judai or Judah. Return of the Jedi, right? The Jedi is also Judah. And the Jedi got the lightsabers, and the lightsabers are made of Khyber crystals, which now they call cyber. Hey man, that's my cipher for the night, for the day. I love coming to y'all like this. Let me know how y'all are feeling this flow. Let me know how y'all feeling the flow, man. I told y'all, man, we patiently waiting. This is the 6th wave. And hey, man, I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Stay up, suit up, choose up. Drop Nation. Hey, Hob, see you on the next one.